for joining us. We begin tonight with Musk and Big Balls.
Big Balls.
Big Balls.
Big Balls, who work for Elon Musk's so-called Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE.
In the one case of the Big Balls kid, a literal teenager.
Big Balls online.
Big Balls here that Katie's talking about.
A 19-year-old that goes by the username Big Balls.
So that would be one way that we could refer to him.
Young computer whizzes, the aforementioned Big Balls.
Because who among us doesn't feel better about big balls in charge of American air traffic control?
We're also seeing something similar happening in the Treasury Department. In the last few days, Elon Musk and his DOGE pals have been granted access to the federal payment system that handles paychecks to federal workers, Social Security checks, tax refunds, and basically incredibly sensitive personal information about anyone who gets those payments. This takeover is also happening across the Office of Personnel Management, where Musk has gained unprecedented access to federal human resources databases that house sensitive personal information about millions of federal employees. And I'm going to talk with the reporter who broke that story today about what else he's learned later in the show.
Tom Homan, who's directing a lot of these ICE operations nationally, etc., he went on TV practically crying. This dude was whining his ass off because ICE went into the city of Chicago, and Chicago had prepared for them. Community organizers, activists, and their mayor and local elected officials who were solid on this issue, they educated the city on their legal rights. Because what ICE tries to do is that they rely on people not knowing their rights in order to enter buildings, in order to search workplaces, etc. So when you know your rights, you are able to tell them no, and they do walk away. What you can do is protect people around you and also make sure that you are slowing down this system. The slower they operate, the less they can break.
In the private information about maybe hundreds of millions of American citizens as young as 19, the big balls here that Katie's talking about. Most of them are in their early 20s. There's an exception I'm going to get to in a minute. I'm curious, though, Kara, how well does even Musk know these young men, do you think?
So this is a 19-year-old high school graduate who has used the unfortunate nickname Big Balls online. So that would be one way that we could refer to him. He is now working at Musk's behest inside DOGE. And we looked into his background. And so we found, several notable things, Aaron, one of which is that this individual has founded multiple companies, including one with another unfortunate name, Tesla.Sexy LLC, which he established in 2021. He would have been around 16 years old. Now, this LLC controls dozens of web domains.
Let's start with immigration and ICE. When people say, what can we do? In my community, we are a heavily immigrant community. ICE raids deeply affect and disrupt our community. So, number one, if you live in a community with a lot of immigrants, know your rights. That's one tangible thing you can do that I want you to do. And that means know your rights if you are a US citizen as well. Okay? Here's one way that we're going to create some friction in this system.
We can brag on Marco Rubio, I'd be happy to do it, but I'm going to tell you right now, people are going to die in very large numbers around the world who are expecting the United States to live up to our promises to get them medicine, to get them help. And when that happens, people are going to remember that. There are people right now who have HIV who are alive only because the United States is making sure of that. Donald Trump says, we don't care. You go die. That's the message from the United States government. It is the wrong message to be sending, and it opens up the door for China and other people to say, at least we're a stable government who's not going to leave you out here to die.
But overall, it's taken far too long, in my view, for elected officials to respond boldly. And when they do respond, those responses aren't often specific enough or bold enough. And it just hasn't been super clear all the time to me or to probably all of you what they're actually doing to push back on this hostile takeover.
Is probably one of the most unintelligent billionaires I have ever met or seen or witnessed. Which, you can probably even glean that from watching these people on TV. Anyways, all of that is to say is that they don't do their homework. Clearly, they're putting 19-year-olds in at the Treasury. This dude is not smart. And the danger in the lack of intelligence and the lack of expertise that Elon has. I mean, this guy is one of the most morally vacant, but also least knowledgeable about these systems that we really know of.
I think 2025 is going to be pretty exciting, because when you guys say "f*** you" to the federal government, they're going to say "f*** you" too. Because you guys think that you don't like what we do, but you're going to have a sore awakening when the federal government comes after you for aiding and abetting, and they're going to be like, you get a jail cell, 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 you get a jail cell. Probably all of you guys too. So it's going to be actually really exciting. And I bet you guys are terrified, but you're going to continue to go down this same path of, with your UN agenda. It's going to be great to see it all unfold and unravel and be flushed down the toilet like the pure water you want us to drink. It's good. It's going to be fantastic because Tom Homan is going to come after you.
Best friend, Elon Musk. His latest target was the United States Agency for International Development. And that agency is the one that not only leads on humanitarian assistance around the world, but also works to combat corruption in foreign aid programs. It's a big part of what they do. I kind of see how that could make Elon Musk a bit uncomfortable.
I chose family, I chose women, I chose America. I love you. I love all of this.
All of the people who voted for him will be like happy and they'll just be celebrating. And everyone else, everyone who feels threatened by him is fucking scared. Like we're scared for our lives, we're scared for our friends.
If you've lost faith in humanity and this is your villain origin story, if you've lost faith in humanity, clap your hands. You will never make me give up hope. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, no matter.
I still cannot get over the fact that MAGA be like, no tax on overtime! Like they really fucking want something with that. Why the fuck do you want to work overtime? You should not be aspiring to work overtime to begin with. You should be able to survive on 40 hours a week. Some countries think that 40 hours a week is excessive. Like, y'all have completely lost the human experience. Like, we are not here to fucking work. You work to live. You don't live to work. You fucking weirdos. God.
Y'all, please tell me. I don't care how y'all feel about Trump. At this goddamn point, y'all should be bothered by the freaking information coming out right now, but what they were spending our tax dollars on. Our checks that we be working for, our labor, literally be hundreds of dollars short. Hundreds of dollars short. So they could spend it on somebody fluffing pillows. So they could spend it on somebody sitting up and recording Velcro noise for what goddamn stuff? I could give two craps how y'all feel about Trump right now if y'all are not concerned.
So I just found out that Coca-Cola was working with immigration and they reported their own employees to immigration so they would get deported. Is that right, Coca-Cola? That's what you did? All right. Goodbye to you, motherfuckers. Pepsi it is. Pepsi drinker from here on out.
Yesterday, my partner and I went down to our state capitol to listen to some of the anti-trans bills and to provide public input. And I'm still trying to process the level of, they are so unbelievably undereducated. The only way that change is going to happen is if educated people get into office and educated people stand up everywhere.
Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people.